Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
If you'd like to call in, we're talking about business today. Captain John Regan's with us, and we're going to talk about how to start your own business and take the same tax deductions that the rich take. I think you're going to be enlightened about some of the things that are absolutely above board and legal that you can do. And it's limited only by your imagination. So converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors, and I'm Vincent Finelli. Captain John Regan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
There, you did it. You just hit my button. Hey, Captain John Regan, we're going to be talking about starting your own business. And last night we have what we do at the meetups is we talk about business. So because we have a meetup that relates to business and starting your own business, those meetings are tax deductible. Mm-hmm. So if you are interested in starting your own business and you get together with people who are like-minded and want to start their own business, and you drive or travel to that location, and let's say you have a hamburger and maybe a beverage, that's tax deductible. It really is. And you should start with downloading publication number 17. Now, this darn thing, this publication 17 is absolutely out of control now. I mean, it used to be that it'd be, about 100 pages. Well, they've improved it. And since it's in downloadable form, they have expanded it. It's 288 pages this time. Okay. Publication 17, you can go to the website, usaprepares.com, usaprepares.com. and download the publication. Unfortunately, it has gotten more complex, but we're going to give you the general feeling for what you can do when you start your own business. Now, John, if a person wants to start his or her own business and use their home as the base for this business, I would say that's a great place to start, wouldn't you?
It is. You just need to know a few things so you don't accidentally make things worse for yourself.
All right. Tell us what you mean.
Well, there's a number of things. One is considering, do you use a business entity or not? Because when you start up as a sole proprietor, which is the easiest thing to do, all you got to do is say is, I'm in business. You still maintain liability for which isn't separated from your personal life. So if you get sued for your business, your personal assets are all free game. There's a number of ways you can go on that. You can do a corporation, which requires filing a form with the Secretary of State and paying the filing fee. It's really not that difficult to do the articles of incorporation. The problem with corporations is that it is very formal. You have to have the bylaws for it. You have to have at least an annual meeting where you'll elect the board of directors and officers. You have to do resolutions to do things. So in that sense, it's kind of a pain. However, if you do the LLC option, like you've been talking about,
mm-hmm.
you don't have those same requirements. It makes life a little easier, and so long as you got to keep your business separate from your personal. So do things like you have a separate bank account for your corporation or LLC, and don't commingle the funds. And then you maintain basically a shield in most cases. And I'll be talking about today one of the ways that the shield doesn't work. But that's one of the bigger considerations to when you go in.
Okay, so let's talk about why we would start our business. And one of the reasons that people start a business is they have a hobby, and they like to do whatever that hobby is. Let's say it's fly fishing. We'll make it really simple. Let's say they love to go fly fishing, or they love to just go fishing. Well, if they can figure out a way of making that hobby into a business, then the expenses that go along with that hobby could be business deductions. Okay, so for example, you want to write a book. You want to write a book about fishing. Well, in order to do that, you need to go fishing and experience it and talk to other fishermen and travel and learn as much as you can about fishing. And you might need to buy some books about fishing, and you'll need some fishing equipment. Well, if you're writing that book and that book is the business, and you're going to write maybe one book or two books or maybe even just have a website that is dedicated to fishing and teaching people about fishing, and you're looking for some way of getting income from that business. So if it's writing a book, well, then the book sales would be the income stream that would be part of your business. But if you have a blog, then you might be looking for advertisers who sell fishing supplies and fishing equipment, and they would pay you for the advertising on your website. So that makes this all a bona fide business venture. So now your travel to those fishing locations, those lures, the fishing rods, the reels, the line, all of that, the tackle box, all becomes part of your business. And then you may want to get a truck for 4-wheel drive, that you use for going fishing, and you get the big sign on the side of it, and you have it logoed, and and it's got the name of your company on it. Now that vehicle used exclusively for business is another tax deduction. Or if you don't use it exclusively for business, you use it just part of the time, but you need that 4-wheel drive vehicle to get into those remote locations for your fishing expeditions. Well, what you do is you charge 56.5 cents per mile to and from and during that fishing trip that's for your business as a deduction against your income. Okay, so the idea is now you've got what you love to do, which is fishing, as a business. It doesn't have to be fishing. It could be, let's say you love to read. You just love to read books. Well, you go buy some books, and you've started a book business, and you're going to review the books. You buy the books, and you have to read the books, and you put the review on your blog or your website, and you're looking for advertisers who are in the book selling business, like the book company downtown. So you cut a deal with them, and you say, "I'll tell you what, you give me the books at a discount, and I'll let you advertise on my website at a discount. But I'm going to buy the books from you, and you're going to pay me to advertise. And now you've got a business, and you're doing what you love to do, and you're telling other people about the books that you've read. You can say, this is a great book. This book isn't so good because really the author can't get to the point, and so forth. So almost anything that you like to do, if you're passionate about it, it'll be a fun business. What do you think, John?
And while you're talking there, if you live in a state that still hasn't tried to go after Amazon with sales taxes and the like, you can become an Amazon affiliate and sell those books from your website and get a commission.
There you go. So there are a lot of things that you can do to start your business. Now, what I did was I wanted to have an expo. And, that became a business. So, usaprepares.com, LC for limited corporation is my business. Okay. And, I operate the business. I make all the decisions. It's a real business. It has real income, real expenses, more expenses than income. And, but it's what I want to do. Now, I could just say, I won't make it a business. I'll just open my wallet but why would I do that? Why would I pay more taxes than I have to? Okay? I'm not talking about tax evasion. That's illegal. But tax avoidance, if you can avoid paying taxes legally, that is not illegal. Right, John?
It's perfectly legal, and it's the same way with protecting your assets. Most people don't have to worry about this, but if you start getting, into a 6 or 7 figure net worth, then before you really get to that point, you want to have your assets split up into different entities, again, to protect you from lawsuits.
Well, all right. Let me give you some examples. Oh, by the way, I'll be speaking this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 2 seminars at the RK Prepper Show in Indianapolis, Indiana. And admission is $12, and you get a $2 discount if you go to RK shows and print out the coupon. But I'll be there. Rick Miller will be there. Matt Stein will be there. Dr. Patrick Vickers will be there. Storm and Norman Cantwell will be there. So those are some of your USA Prepares instructors who have been on the radio with us, and you get a chance to meet them. You won't meet all of us because it's not our show, but it ought to be a fun show, and I'm going to be talking about how to start your own business. And I'll be there for 2 days, so if you want to pick my brain, you're certainly welcome to do that. Maybe some of us will grab dinner together, and we'll spend a lot of hours together. So I'm certainly up for that. And we are reachable. Rick Miller, Matt Stein, and I are, and Storm and Norman Cantwell are all reachable. And John Dollarheight may be joining us. I'm not sure, but he's trying to make that happen. Let me give an example of something that I did. I wanted to take some videos of some of the things that we do, like for YouTube. Well, I bought this used Sanyo handheld camera. It's a video camera. So I bought that. Now, had I not had a business, I would have to pay for that out of my after-tax earnings. Let's say I had a job. Okay? I'd have to pay for it like most people do, but that's not the case. That's not the case for me. I bought this used on the internet. I paid very little for it, and it's a tax deduction. Why? Because I need it for my business. Think about that. Catherine from Missouri, we will be right back. We'll be right back right after this short break. Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. And class, make the decision to start your business right this second. I'm not kidding. Just make it up in your mind. You've decided to start a business. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression level, financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of TARP, the national debt was at $11 trillion, gold trading around $850 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crisis. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. Bidbit.co.
Captain John Regan's with us, and we're talking about starting your own business and some of the deductions that you can take. John, we talked about farming, and it's such a great business because, number one, you live away from other people, and you're in charge of your destiny more than most people. You don't have a boss typically telling you what to do. You've got your business telling you what to do. The cows will tell you when they're hungry and things like that, and you have to actually, it's 24 hours a day. So for some, it's really, really tough. They'd rather have a job with a boss beating them up. Not in my case. I'd rather, tell myself what I have to do and when I have to do it. But the things that I can do on the farm are kind of neat. So for example, if I want to buy a tractor, which, could be a lot of fun, riding around a tractor, I can pick whatever tractor I want. And as long as I can afford it, and that it makes a viable economic sense, I can buy that, and it can be a tax deduction. I can buy shovels and other tools, fertilizer, all things that I buy to operate this farm are tax deductions. And, at one time I needed a drill press. And, I buy a lot of things used. I really do. And I buy almost everything used. So I bought this used drill press, and that was a tax deduction. I still have it. So I bought a compressor, air hoses, everything you can possibly think of, screwdrivers, whatever you can imagine that you would use on a farm, you can buy and have that be a deduction against your income for your farm. Now, it doesn't mean you go crazy and spend money you don't have. That's not the case at all. But if you need it, and you can justify it for your farm, it can be a deduction, including a four-wheeler. Now, most people, when they buy four-wheelers, can't have them be a deduction against their income. But if you have a farm, you can. Okay? I use a four-wheeler to check the cows. So I'm having fun, and I'm checking the cows at the same time. And it's really true. I really need it for business. So it's not like a stretch. And I have a motorcycle. I have a dirt bike, and I use that for checking the cows too. And sometimes I'll take the dirt bike through the woods because the four-wheeler won't fit. So I can take this, dirt bike and check the fence. And how do I justify it? Well, we have 4 miles of fence. And how long would it take me to walk that? So the dirt bike, the tires, the brakes, the bearings, the chains, all that stuff, those are all tax deductions, including the manual on how to repair it. John, your thoughts?
And of course, if you raise a crop and you need to sell it, taking a trip down to the farmer's market, that's tax deductible too.
Yeah. And so here's a thought. This will probably, we're low on complaints here at usaprepares.com. We don't get very many of them. So let's let's see if we can stimulate some complaints. My recommendation is that you not give to charitable organizations. Forget it. Don't give money to charity. But here's what you can do. When you start that business, let's say you want to start a seed business, and you want to learn how to save seeds, how to grow seeds, how to plant. So you start that seed business, and you build your own garden. Of course, your own garden now is a tax deduction, and the raised bed is a tax deduction. The concrete blocks that you use are a tax deduction. The hoe, the pick, the shovel, the topsoil, if you have that brought in, all that's a tax deduction. And now what you do is, instead of giving money to charity, you put that money into your business. And then if you want to be charitable, then you raise these seeds and you give them away. That would be a great, great charitable thing to do, to help people. And then what you do is you invite them over, and you have a community or a neighborhood. We'll call it a neighborhood if you live in the suburbs or the city, for example. And you invite your friends over, even friends that you don't know all that well. You invite them over for a barbecue, and you say, listen, this is a meeting where I'm going to teach you how to grow your own food. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we've got some seeds, and we're going to give some away, and we have some others that are for sale. And if you'd like to buy them, you can buy them, but you don't have to. So I'm going to teach you about how to grow a garden. Now that barbecue is now a tax deduction. Pretty cool. So you can do things. Go ahead.
Let me just jump in. You say, start it today. Resist that urge to, I need to get all my ducks in a row before doing this. And I'll explain why on the other side of the break here.
Why you don't need to get all your ducks in a row, right?
And it actually can cost you if you do.
Yeah. And by the way, I still don't have my ducks in a row. And I've been doing this for a long time. Really. Decades. We'll be right back. By now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hey everyone, Mark and I were talking the other day about guns80.com and how people really want ghost guns. They want 100% privacy. So guns80.com is allowing you now to call them, give your address, and they'll ship you out with a money order or some very private instrument. You can work that out with them. They'll ship you out a gun in a brown paper wrapper so no one even knows you have it. No records will be kept to be 100% private, but you got to call them. 844-2-GUNS-80, 844-248-6780.
Avoid bankruptcy. Does credit card debt have you living paycheck to paycheck? Our attorneys at the Legal Center for Debt Resolution will find the absolute best debt reduction solution for you, or you pay nothing. It's called Pay for Performance, and you won't pay a dime until the job's done. That's right. No upfront fee, no monthly fees. Nada. You pay nothing until after your account is settled. If you owe $10,000, $30,000, or even $50,000 in credit card debt, call the Legal Center for Debt Resolution at 800-449-4269. 800-449-4269.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Captain John Regan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. He started a business and he's written a book, and he's taking the same tax deductions the rich take. I've started a business and I take the same tax deductions the rich take. John, you talked about getting your ducks in a row and why maybe you shouldn't worry about getting all your ducks in a row. Tell us about that.
Because you feel this urge, you just want to get everything ready and nice and neat, but when you do that, what you're doing is accumulating startup expenses. And when you accumulate those before you start your business, you can't just expense those all at once. The IRS makes you amortize it over 7 years. But if you start your business, then acquire those expenses, they are now deductible.
Yeah, and it's okay to make mistakes. It really is. It's not okay to commit fraud. It's not okay to lie, cheat, and steal. But, you can, and you probably will make some mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. And I've been audited a bunch of times. And I think it's such a great experience being audited. I bring the whole family. When the children were little, we'd bring them. And as a matter of fact, I invited the meetup group last night. I said, when it happens again, next time I get audited, I'll invite you all and we'll all go and we'll all go to the audit. And, and we'll use this as a learning experience. We'll bring our cameras and recorders and stuff and, put it on YouTube and heck, with all the people who'll be coming to the audit, the introductions will probably take 10 minutes.
But it's also kind of the same with the entity. If you want to do an LLC, that's fine. But if you're not quite ready for that, you can go ahead and start as a sole proprietor, get the business going. Then you can turn around later, whether it's, a month later or you decide you want to start it at the beginning of a year, you can then create the entity and have the entity basically obtain the business and the assets of the business from you. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and forget lawyers. Just forget them. You don't need to have a lawyer involved. You can do all this yourself. You can go to the internet and you can look up, how do I start my own business? And when they say, you need to get legal help, that's nonsense. You can go to the Secretary of State in your state on the internet, and you can register a name. You can search for a name. Pick a name that you like, you think that others will like. And by the way, I would pick a name that is kind of universal. Rather than well, let's say you're into fly fishing. You like fly fishing. If you pick a name that is really honed into fly fishing, that's great. But what if you change your mind? What if you want to get into the reloading business?
Or selling seeds,
Or selling, yeah. So, right, if you want to get into that selling seeds business and you start out as, Johnny's favorite flies, or fly lures or fishing lures, and then now you're selling seeds, it's going to be a stretch. So, what you might want to do is just pick a name that is semi-universal, and that's why the name that I've chosen, USA Prepares, is pretty universal. I can use it for radio, which I do. I can use it for the Expo. And by the way, the reason the Expo is not called the USA Prepares Expo is because people can't spell prepares. They say USA Prepared, USA Prepare, but they can't seem to figure out USA Prepares. So that's why I call it the Get Prepared Expo, because people can't spell. It's absolute truth. But anyway, so John, if our business needs a desk, we can pick up one used at a garage sale, or a flea market, a yard sale, or we can buy it new. Doesn't matter. Don't spend money you don't have. Don't waste money. But you can buy that furniture, the rug, the lamps, the light bulbs, the paint, for that office in your home. So pick a room that you're going to like in your home that's unused, and it's going to be dedicated toward this business. That doesn't mean you can't go in when you're not operating the business, but it's really for the business. So it's really not a bedroom that you're going to have the children sleep in. It's really a room that is set aside for operating a business, and it's the headquarters for your business. And then it is absolutely positively tax deductible, and all of the expenses that go with that room. So if it's a 5-room home, and you can take 1/5 of the electricity, 1/5 of the heating. Let's say your furnace goes out, and you've got furnace repairs, 1/5 of that. Okay, you need a new roof, 1/5 of that. That's all part of the business expense, operating the business in your home. And to me, if you can avoid having a separate location, like where you rent an office, if you can avoid that, and have the business operate out of your home and run an internet-based business, that's the hot setup with no employees. Then your headaches are minimized. John?
Yeah, and we've been...
Did I just lose John?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can, sure.
Okay. We've been talking about the IRS. Let me take a few minutes here to quickly talk about the FTC. Because you have multiple partners in your business. And I just went to a webinar Friday afternoon, and oh boy, the bottom line is you need to build in certain legal strategies into your marketing nowadays. And it's so bad, and this is my quote, the FTC makes the IRS look like the good cop. And prior to 2009, it was kind of like the Wild Wild West. A lot of things, were being done out there. And amazingly, if you think about 2009, what happened in 2009? Well, that's when Barry, Harry, and Nancy took over, and there was a flood of regulations hit out there. And then that changed again in 2014, where, for example, when they target somebody for what they're doing, now they also see who else is doing that type of marketing and target them. So they're going after the little guy, not just the big fish. And if you get afoul of the FTC, they can freeze all your assets, not just your bank account, your real estate, your investments. They, basically make your life really, really bad. And the entity structure doesn't matter because they consider the violation of their regulations fraud. So they bypass all those entities. You're personally liable. You can't declare bankruptcy to get out of it. And if you do manage to survive all that, then you are required to submit compliance reporting on every aspect of your business for up to the next 20 years. Really, really nasty. And to try to do this with an internet attorney, and you do need, if you go for an attorney, you do need somebody who has the experience. You can't just go to like a tax attorney and ask them about your marketing for your website. And I think some of you know I'm getting ready to move. I'm trying to avoid expenses right now, but I put down the $197 to buy FTC Guardian because I don't have all the policies I need for my website. I'm planning on doing more things that if I'm not protected, it can literally cost me more than what I've got. And one of the examples they gave is when the FTC came into this business, they give them an offer, and this one partner took it, cost them $192,000 in fines. The other partner decided to fight it. This other partner was an attorney. He felt it didn't do anything wrong, so this other partner ended up having to pay $18.2 million. This is not something to mess around with. I did post resources for today with a couple of links. One lets you register for the FTC Guardian webinar. They do have one going on tonight. I don't know how regularly they have those. They also have a $7 check your website compliance, so I included that link. But yeah, the webinar is free. Go ahead and hop in there because there's a whole lot more than I can fit in the few minutes we have today. And to give you an idea of, there's another internet attorney that I don't remember how I found about him. He's here in the DFW area, and I've been getting his emails for years. And this is how I knew a few things, and that's where you see some of the disclaimers that I do have on my website. And I went to his website this morning and looked at his prices that he's got listed. For a 30-minute phone conversation, $250. To get your website reviewed, $795. And then to get documents for your website, it's $495 to $1,795 per document for things like your privacy policy. So if you collect any personal information, which would include an email address, things like your terms and conditions, your external links policy, earnings disclaimer if it's a business opportunity, DMCA notice, a big thing for copyrighted material. If you don't have that DMCA notice, that could be another show that we do. If you're doing anything with nature supplements, health disclaimers, it just goes on and on. Plus, there's intellectual property documents. If you do things like go to Fiverr and get somebody to do some creative work for your website, if you did not get an agreement signed ahead of time, that person actually owns the copyright to that material, which can cost you later on, and also means that very same material could be used on a competitor's website. I haven't had a chance to actually get under the hood of FTC Guardian, but they do have educational videos there. They have twice a month meetings, short things, 20 minutes, where they bring you up to date on new developments. So, and then they've got software on the website that will interview you and let you build these documents. So it's not, as good as doing an attorney. Getting an attorney is always the best option, but a lot of us can't afford the thousands of dollars for an attorney. And to me, this is the best way to go.
Took us right up to the commercial break. John Regan's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. But John, I've talked to attorneys in Silicon Valley, and it's like they were always in the way. Always in the way. No matter what we wanted to do, they were an impediment to us going forward. And it sounds like with all these rules and regulations you're talking about, there are more impediments to get going. For me, and this is just for me, I'm willing to do the right thing. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take longevity beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. Goberkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
John, let's start with another simple home-based business. You know, a lot of guys like going to gun shows, and I'm going to a prepper show, which is run by RK Gun Shows this weekend in Indianapolis. Well, if a guy likes guns and gun accessories, or gal, and likes to go to those kind of events, well, if that person started a business, let's say rented a table for $50, $75, for the weekend, and had some inventory. Let's say they were able to buy some ammunition, buy it at a lower price and sell it at a higher price. Okay, that's an opportunity that is viable. Well, I know some guys, a family, who I've seen gun shows over and over and over. They started out with a small amount of ammunition, a few cases, and then each gun show I've been to, they've got more and more and more and more and more, and now they're a viable competitors to some of the big guys. They have a low cost because it's, father and his couple of sons, and it works for them. And so now what happens is the trip to the gun show is a tax deduction. The trips to other events where they, check out competitors and their meals, those are all tax deductions, and they're doing what they love to do, and they're getting the ammo that they want for themselves at a lower price in addition. So that's just another example of being in business. Now, when you talk about collecting email addresses, I don't collect them. I don't collect email addresses, so I don't have to worry about that. And there are other sites that. Well, let me give you an example.
But so you
talked about the FTC.
You're doing sales from your website, and when you do that, you need to have a refund and return policies on your website too.
Yeah. Okay. It's if anybody's unhappy with anything, we'll give them their money back.
But you have to have the policy written and on your website.
Okay. What other concerns do you see for most people who have websites?
Let me just give another quick warning on this. Don't attempt to copy these types of documents from other websites for two reasons. One is those were hopefully tailored for those people's sites and may not cover what you're doing. Plus, it's probably copyrighted, which, in addition to maybe not covering you, now you get into the problem of copyright infringement. And like I said, this is serious. They can force you to sell your house, force you to sell your car, even throw you in prison. So that's why I say, there's a free webinar. I recommend signing up for it and getting some information yourself. Okay.
So, John, are you saying that people should be really, really, really careful about starting their own business?
What the FTC has done with marketing in these last few years is vastly different from what we did, like say, before 2009. It's not the same world.
And would you say that the FTC is trying to prevent people from entering business?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you have the drug companies who are making all these claims, getting us all sick on these drugs, and they're getting away with it. But the little guy's getting hammered.
It's the barriers to entry. In fact, we've heard executives from companies like Home Depot and Apple saying that if they had to start their companies today versus the 1980s, they couldn't do it. So I just want to make you aware of this, that there are things you can do to protect yourself. But to just go in and start doing things without any knowledge whatsoever, it becomes walking a minefield.
Is your biggest concern the internet?
It's not just the internet, but that is the big part. And in addition to the FTC, you have 28 state mini FTCs out there. And but besides, the Democrats, which, hate to give you a chance to break out of being a wage slave, you've got a lot of these governments that are desperate for more money, and they will look for any way they can to find it.
Okay, well, class, if any of you gets picked on by any of these government thugs, contact me. And we will expose them. We'll give them all the credit that they deserve for all the things that they're doing to you. Okay? We will help you. We will expose them on usaprepares.com. And if they come after me, boy, there'll be a lot to talk about. John Regan, thanks so much for being with us today. Class, I suggest that you consider starting your own business. I have, and I think you can do it. I really do.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
I'm Vincent Finelli of usaprepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take longevity beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Dr. Bruce Johns is with us, and we're going to be talking about aquaponics. Welcome, Dr. Bruce Johns.
Hi, Vince. How are you?
I am well. Dr. Johns, you were at the Get Prepared Expo, and you were teaching us about aquaponics, and I'm delighted to have you back on the radio with us. I was thinking about a term that was used many, many, many decades ago, and it was growing plants in water, and it was called hydroponics. And even some of the high schools and elementary schools are teaching their students about moving water, putting the nutrients in the water, and not having a soil as a medium for growing. What's the difference between aquaponics and hydroponics?
Well, basically, the question is who puts the chemicals in the water. Mm-hmm. With hydroponics, you're responsible for everything. You have to adjust pH and add nutrients and everything to the water. And with aquaponics, that's actually done by the fish themselves through the feed that they're given to maintain their integrity. And then they excrete ammonia, which is and other minerals based on what comes in through the food, and that's what feeds the plants.
Now, Dr. Johns, as you talk about the chemicals, there really is a lot of chemistry involved in growing food, correct? Whether it be plants or animals, correct?
Oh, absolutely. It's very, very complicated.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's help people get started. Let's say they want to do a do-it-yourself aquaponics system. Is it possible that you can buy the equipment you need to do it yourself? And then we'll talk about a commercial system after that. Can we just raise fish in a tank and put some plants in and everybody will be happy, or what do we do?
Well, of course, I'm in the business of selling aquaponics equipment, just to give a plug for my company. But
and we're certainly going to do. We're certainly going to do that.
In all honesty, a lot of what I have done so far in this business is promote growing vegetables in your backyard. Mm-hmm. That is my number one concern. If I sell stuff, it's great for business. But it is something, and I talked to a fair number of people who, just want to do it themselves, and I try to help them, in any way I can, because there are ways that I can direct people to do stuff, to check things on the internet, although you have to be careful, depending on what their objectives are. And I hope today we go through a lot of the questions that people have raised at the shows that I've been to, like fish and hydroponics versus aquaponics, the type of system that you have, media versus a raft system. There are a whole lot of questions, which I think is probably the biggest part of the problem, because people get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. That's why I want to start out with a. That's why I want to start out with a simple system, like if someone wanted to do it himself or herself, just a very, very simple basic system. I thought we could start with that and then grow it from there and make it more complex, and then get into the advantages of a commercially purchased system. That's what I thought we could do. So, what are the basic components of an aquaponics system?
That's all right. There's a decision before that point, and that is you have to decide whether you're going to be using a media bed system, which is little rocks, river gravel. There are a couple different kinds of media that you can use, or whether you're going to be using a raft system, because that'll kind of define what kind of equipment that you get. Although, if you have a media system already, you could convert to a raft system, or maybe vice versa, not necessarily. Really simply, if you need to have an area where you're going to be doing the growing, and that has to be obviously waterproof. And along with that, you need a separate fish tank, because you have to keep the fish away from the plants, because the fish love the roots. And so you've got two tanks, and then you're going to have plumbing in between them, and you're going to need at least one pump to pump the water in from one tank into another, and then it flows by gravity into the second tank. Is that?
Yeah. So yeah, and what you're saying is, it sounds like no matter what, you're going to need some kind of a pump, no matter what, if you're going to use an aquaponic system, and it's because of the roots, correct?
Well, you have to transfer water from the fish tank to the grow bed. Mm-hmm. And once you've transferred the water, if you just do it by gravity, which is what most people do, fish tank into the grow bed, then you've got to have a pump to return it back into the fish tank, which is at a higher water level. Mm-hmm. So
right.
It's a closed loop system. It just recycles the water from mm-hmm. one tank to another. And there are a couple different ways you can do that.
Okay, I think our class understands it. You have two tanks, one for the fish and one for the plants, and you have to move the water from one to the other. So as you pump the water from, let's say, from one tank, the overflow will go back, and it's just an endless loop except for evaporation. So as we're growing these plants, we're going to have to determine what size plants, what size tanks, what size pump, what type of fish, right? And then what about the addition of fish food? Let's talk about that too. So why don't we start with what do we need? Let's build a system from a very basic system from scratch, just buy components.
Okay. You can either go to a big box store, and either the hardware-based one or the general merchandise-based one. I hate to mention company names, but you can get 2 tanks that would meet your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And you can a fair number of people have taken industrial bulk chemical or IBC totes. That's a polyethylene cube surrounded by a metal frame to help support it. And you can cut those in half, and then you have a grow bed from the top and a fish tank on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And what you're talking about, Dr. Johns, is a tank that's, you see these, some people use them for recycling cans in some of the convenience stores where you just throw your aluminum cans and trash. I have 4 of them here on the farm that I use for storing water, and you can buy them for about $85 to $100. So, and they're white plastic, and they've got a metal cage. They're typically about 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet. So a 4-foot cube, rough dimensions, about 330 gallons.
Yeah, that's the larger size. The smaller one is, I think, about almost 2 3/4 feet square.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, a 4-foot square one would be a lot nicer, but you got to take what you can get. They're fairly cheap. I've seen them for $20 for a tote. But you got to be careful when you buy them. Make sure that they didn't have any nasty chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So you want a food grade IBC industrial bulk chemical tote, or tanks that you buy at a big box store. And the plumbing you can get also at the hardware type big box stores. You can get all of the PVC pipe that you need, the fittings and all that stuff should be available at your local store. And so you can get, from a plumbing standpoint, locally pretty much everything. And then in order to deal with the pump, and we hadn't mentioned an aerator yet, but you need to have an aerator also to keep everything happy and alive. But the pump, there are a number of companies that sell water pumps. I prefer the non-immersible, or the one you put in line to keep it out of the water. Immersible pumps tend to lose they age too fast. The seals go on them, and then you got to replace them. But an exterior one, you can rebuild them also. But there are a couple companies that make really good pumps, and you don't need to pump a lot of water, contrary to what people might think. Just a couple gallons a minute is all that you really need. So that's the pump, and then the tanks and the plumbing. And then the last part that you need is an aerator, because it's not, people think it's, as far as aquaponics, it's not just the fish that need air. It's also the bacteria that are doing the conversion of the fish poop into fertilizer. They need and deserve air also in order to live and exist in that whole environment. They're really a very important part of it. But not usually observed. But you could get a system just buying parts yourself. I don't know, maybe $400 or $500, somewhere in that range, depending on what you had to buy and where you bought it.
Okay, so in my case, what I found, those industrial bulk chemical totes, the ones that have the hazardous chemicals like the Roundup. They're not worth very much. People don't really want to handle them. So they're typically sold for less than ones that have been used for cooking oil or some other kind of food product. So make sure that if you're going to buy one of these glass that you read the label and see what was in it first. And if it doesn't have a label, if the label's removed, I would be suspect of what was in it. Okay? So you can buy all kinds of containers. You're going to need 2 of them, and you're going to need a pump, and or you can buy it. And if you want to go to the website that Bruce Johns is talking about, that's 3stepsforfood.com. The number 3 steps, the word 4, food.com. 3 stepsforfood.com. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Mars, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Can Heart and Body Extract help with other ailments besides heart conditions, high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or unbalanced cholesterol? It did for Karen.
I've been using Heart and Body Extract for approximately 2 weeks. I've had an earwax buildup problem for many years, with over-the-counter stuff not working at all. I had very poor hearing due to this earwax buildup. Well, after 2 weeks of taking Heart and Body Extract, my earwax buildup almost completely cleared up. Could this be the effect of better body circulation?
Heart and Body Extract is an effective 100% organic nutritional supplement specially formulated to allow your body to heal itself.
My hearing is almost completely back to normal. I'm amazed.
Order by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Dr. Bruce Johns is with us, and we're talking about aquaponics, and we're talking about building one yourself, and you can use tanks that you can buy used, and you're talking about a food grade industrial bulk chemical tank. You can get them in 275 gallons or 330 gallons. We have 4 of them here at the farm. We use them for water storage, and so you're going to want to have a pump to pump the water between the 2 tanks. Dr. Johns, in addition to pumping the water and aerating the water so that the fish and plants live and the bacteria seems to be at the right levels, what about the temperature of the water?
Well, the temperature is important in the case of the fish, especially. That's the usually limiting factor. And something like tilapia, since tilapia are a tropical fish, since they come originally based from the Nile, and so they're going to have a much warmer temperature in at least the 70s and 80s minimum in order to keep them happy and reproducing and doing their normal bodily functions. I have really been leaning more towards the yellow perch, which is a local fish here in Indiana and Illinois and Wisconsin, and they handle temperature a lot better, and hopefully they may be more adaptive as far as what you feed them. All fish typically in the aquaponic systems that people have, they'll feed them with the commercially prepared granular little ball type feed based on the size of the fish, and that may be GMO or maybe non-GMO, or it could be organic, which we might want to talk about that. But you also, I'm taking the perspective of what would a prepper do to set up a system so that they could be independent.
Right, right. The plan, that is the plan. And the reason I wanted to start with building one is so a person could see or visualize on this broadcast classroom what are the components, and then take us into a commercial one that's already done and the advantages of the commercial one that's already tried and true.
Yes. Since we were talking about the fish food and fish and temperature, if I like the more local type fish, since we live up a little further north, not much more north than you, but up here, whatever system you have, again from a prepper perspective, you would want to keep it going all year, which means you're going to have to enclose it, which is another topic for discussion. So you really, from an economic standpoint, it's better to use a fish that doesn't require you to keep the water at 80 degrees or so in order to keep your fish alive and happy. Because the plants, of course, would like warm water, but it doesn't have to necessarily be 85 degrees, going through a winter time. And so you're going to save money trying to keep your system going and keeping everything alive.
I went to one of our instructors' homes, Alan. He was on Alan Busick was on Doomsday Preppers, and he took me to his backyard, and he had a aquaponics system, and it was huge, about 1,500 gallons. And he had a lot of fish in there, and he had a hatch and an insulated cover, and then what he did was he got this pile of mulch. Actually, it was a pile of wood chips that came from the guys that cut down the trees and limbs near the power lines, and he had it dumped in his backyard. And then he ran some PEX through that. He had a slinky of PEX running through this 8-foot tall pile of mulch and wood chips, which generated heat, which heated the water running through the slinky of PEX, and it kept the fish tank warm. And so it was, a brilliant design. So he was doing it without fossil fuels, and without, the only electricity he had was, like the circulating pump. So it kind of worked kind of neat. But But it wasn't something that he could set and forget. He had to actually pay attention to the fish, and he had to feed the fish. And so when we come back and we talk about, well, how do you clean the tank and from the fish, the roots, and then let's talk about the different arrangements for hydroponic systems, the raft systems, the styrofoam rafts, and so forth. Let's talk about that when we get back. Dr. Bruce Johns, 3stepsforfood.com, link on the website. By now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, I have exclusively used Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic anytime. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866. If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Walland Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Walland Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall and Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Dr. Bruce Johns is with us, and his website is there's a link on our website, usaprepares.com. The link says Dr. Bruce Johns Aquaponics. You can click on it, it'll take you to his website, and that is the number 3, and then the words stepsforfood.com. The number 3, then following words stepsforfood.com. 3stepsforfood.com. Dr. Johns, we're talking about the arrangements for hydroponics, aquaponics, raft systems, styrofoam rafts, and so forth, towers. What are your thoughts, and what do we need to know about the different arrangements? Which is the best way to go, if there is one?
Well, the best, I think, is a matter of opinion. If you want to grow commercially, all the people that I know that grow commercially grow using the raft system. And it's just, if you want to look at it as a like a head of lettuce takes so many days to mature, and one group out in Hawaii just has, I think, like a 90 or 120 foot trough that they grow in, and they start them on one end and they keep harvesting on the other, and as they harvest they pull rafts out and they just push them down. It's like an assembly line for production. And you can minimize your handling. Then you can take rafts out and work with them on a table and do your harvesting. As far as I'm concerned, that is the most efficient way commercially to grow from the standpoint of manpower.
Okay.
Because you can control
in your system. Okay, and let's talk about your system.
We also use the raft based system, and the design that Perpetual Foods markets is an expandable. It's a 4x4 unit base, and then you can just add 4-foot increments to your heart's desire. And as you get up, for example, 32 feet. At 32 feet, you'd need a bigger tank and a little bit bigger pump. But basically, it's the same system. It's all based on floats, and we use. You can use either little baskets, or we use pucks. Again, a puck is cheaper actually than just a basket, and with the basket, you still have to put in the media in it. Whereas our puck, drop it in and it expands, and it gives you the whole little area there where you can grow a seed. And it was designed to make it as easy as possible.
Let me ask you this. So if someone wants to buy your system, let's say they start with a 4x4, can you give us a feel for what the cost would be without the fish and without the seeds? And then let's add the fish and the seeds.
Well, we at least when I sell them, I give them 10 packs of seeds from the collection of seeds that we have from High Mowing. Throw a little plug in there. We market High Mowing seeds, so that's part of our kit. So all people would have to do would be to add the water and the fish. And at the show there, I had it for $12.95, and that's complete. That's everything but the fish and the water. And
okay. And what about the water? What about the water? Do you advise? What if a person wants to put this in their basement, for example? Will they need light? Will they need to get the chlorine out of the water, or will the fish be okay with chlorinated water? Or how do we handle that?
Well, they will need light because it would be unless they have light that can get into their basement. You know, if it's multi-level house on a hillside or something, light is a requisite, no matter where you put it, even if it's in a barn or whatever. it's either natural light or provided light. And as far as chlorine in the water, there are chemicals now. If you want to do it in your basement, then you'll have to use the chemicals because you don't have ultraviolet light from the sun. If you do it outside, you could fill your system and let it sit there 3 or 4 days, and the sun will take care of the chlorine and the chloramines that are in the water. They'll degrade those and make it safe for the fish. But
Great.
yeah, that's an important step.
And then,
otherwise you kill your fish.
Right. And so isn't it interesting how we drink that chlorinated water? We're not concerned about killing ourselves. Well, actually, our class is. But it'll kill the fish.
That.
So, yeah, I don't either. We have a well, and we use a ProPure water filtration system. But, Dr. Johns, what would the fish cost us in a typical market? Let's say, in Missouri or where you are, or, in the surrounding couple 100 miles. What would the fish cost for us to get, and how many would we put in a 4 foot by 4 foot system?
Okay, based on our philosophy, a 4x4 system would handle 5 pounds of fish, and the fish that I just ordered, my yellow perch, I get them in several different sizes. You can get them actually, I think, in 4 different sizes. So I go for the smaller 3 groups, and I think it was $1.25 for the small one. The next one's like $1.85, and then the next size up from that was like $2.30, and then it makes a significant jump to the fourth level because they're bigger fish. They've been around longer. So $2.50 a fish. And that fish will be about, for the most expensive ones, I think around 4 inches long.
Okay. And can you use catfish?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask is...
go ahead.
The reason I ask is we have several ponds here at the farm. And I bought some catfish. And at the farmer's cooperative, down the road from us, a few miles down the road, a couple times a year, the fish truck will show up, and there'll be this truck that has thousands and thousands of fish, and you get catfish and perch and whatever you want. And I buy about 100 fish at a time, and there's $32 or $33 for a bag of 100 fish, 4 inches long or so. So they're not expensive. I mean, it's 33 cents a piece, right?
Yeah. Mine costs more because I'm not buying a large enough quantity.
Okay.
Everything's scaled based on how many pounds that you buy. So yes, you're correct. If I bought more, I could buy them for less per fish.
Okay. And how about the fish food? What are we going to feed these fish?
Well, typically a commercial facility. The one in town here that I interact with a little bit, they have a non-GMO food that they provide for their fish. It's the several different sizes of pellets that they buy, and it could be different protein sources and brains and floor sweeping. That's the bad part about it, because it's probably a lot of scraps that go together that they can recycle. Fish can handle that stuff. It's certainly not a human-based food. But so that's one option, and that's much more controlled, and you at least know where it is. Another option, one that I'm leaning towards, is to use mealworms or even worms, because the fact that I'm using yellow perch. So a lot depends on the fish. If you go tilapia, tilapia are omnivores, so they can eat protein and they eat their babies if they can get them. But they can also eat the pellets. They can also eat. Some people grow duckweed, which I don't recommend that because it gets in your system. You'll have duckweed everywhere. So I don't recommend that unless it's in a separate system just for duckweed production. And I'm going to be working towards growing my own little larvae or worms. Some people use soldier flies if they're in your area. They're not here. Mealworms are very easy to grow. Of course, earthworms. The problem with earthworms, if you get them out of your own backyard, that's great because you know that they're, at least whatever you put on your own facility, that's what's in the worms. But if you go buy them, you don't know what's in them. So if you want to grow organically, which by definition aquaponics would be if you control the input, if you want to grow organically, it takes a couple generations to get a commercial load of worms to really be what you'd consider organic worm source for fish. So that's why I like the idea of the mealworms because they're fairly prolific and it's really easy to deal with them. Or soldier flies. I've seen systems for collecting soldier flies, but they don't grow around here, unfortunately.
Okay, so what if someone says, I've been talking about how to start your own business and take the same deductions that the rich take, same tax deductions. Let's say someone wanted to start his own business and teach people about aquaponics. Have you, when you were at the expo, did anyone ask you if that would be a viable business?
I have not run into anybody who has talked about doing it, what you call commercially at the shows. Everybody's pretty much been, for individual use. But that's certainly, today you can, especially if you stay away from the classic lettuce, because it seems like everybody I've talked to who's getting into the growing greens business is focusing on lettuce. But if you specialize in some of the oriental greens or herbs and spices and stuff like that, those are what I would consider high dollar value items. And you're much better off, I think, doing that than to grow just classic old lettuce.
Yeah, because lettuce is
your density can be more.
Yeah, around here, lettuce is about $1 a head, commercially grown right at the supermarket. So, boy, it doesn't seem like it'd be worth it growing lettuce. But let's talk about those high-value herbs and spices when we come back with Dr. Johns. 3 steps for food. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. Bidbit.co.
Class, Ed Marvini's working on the website, usersite.com, and I would say by next week we'll have the selections available for you to purchase. earthworkshealth.com, diatomaceous earth, earthworkshealth.com, diatomaceous earth, and if you wanted to get it in the meantime, you can just go to earthworkshealth.com and you can buy it right now. If you want to wait, we'll have it available. Looks like next week, and we can ship it right to you. And we have ProPure in stock. It's not on the website, but it will be next week. And if you want a ProPure water filtration system at the lowest price in the country, you can send me an email and just highlight the subject line as ProPure or water filtration systems, and I will call you. Make sure you include your phone number, and I'll call you and tell you the prices. I've agreed not to release the prices that we charge on this radio broadcast because they are the lowest, and it might be disruptive to others who are selling them at MAP pricing. We are not. So that's the update on the website. And Dr. Johns is with us. Dr. Johns, can you tell us about these high value herbs that we can grow in our aquaponic systems?
Well, any medicinal herb, any spice would probably grow well in the aquaponics system. I can't think of any offhand that don't. There are some things that are documented very well not to grow, and one is, I said most greens, and you have to exclude asparagus since it's a 2-year process, so that's out. You can grow many root vegetables. I can provide pictures of a beet, a very large beet actually, onions. Potatoes don't grow in aquaponics. No one's figured that one out yet, but I don't see any reason to do that. So really, again, from a prepper standpoint, but I'm personally focusing on growing things sort of like a microgreens project. You let things grow to 4 or 6 inches, and on a pound basis, you get more nutrition than you do on a full-grown plant, about 10 times more for broccoli anyway. And so if I can grow these things fast and eat them when they're young in their highest nutrition state, and you can turn this over, you can keep turning that over. And with the aquaponic system or hydroponics, your grow density can be fairly high. You can look at fodder systems that people are using for growing different kinds of feed for cattle and for sheep and for goats. You get really high density. It's like you can buy the lemongrass squares in a grocery store. If you could grow your greens at that high a level, maybe not quite that high, but you could get a whole lot into a very small area. Then you could have a very diverse collection of herbs, spices, and even just regular vegetables at their highest nutrition state. That's what I am working towards in my own system anyway.
Dr. Johns, one of the things that I've been focusing on and reading about is what's happening with Fukushima and the radiation, and there are companies in Japan that are packaging food right now, and they're trying to have it labeled from another country, like Taiwan, and it's deceptive packaging. So here we have a contaminated area, and that's where they're producing and processing food, including noodles from Japan, Asian type noodles. I'm not interested in doing that. I'm interested in having a safe food supply. So this is one approach that you can actually control what you grow and keep it safe from these harmful chemicals if you grow it, let's say, within your own building, within your own location, so that radioactivity is not part of the equation. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. And grow it in some kind of a covered environment. That way you can control anything falling on it. And I hate to use the word fallout, but that is consideration.
Yeah.
If it's not
Dr.
here
Bruce
yet,
Jones.
Well, it is here.
Yeah, Dr. Bruce Jones has been with us. 3stepsforfood.com, 3, the number 3, and then the words, stepsforfood.com. And there's a link on the website, usaprepares.com, page 1. If you'd like to click on that link, it'll take you right to his website. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. Thanks so much, Dr. Bruce Jones.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645 today.